Silverdome, as the 2004 football season is finally underway. The 24th annual Prep Kickoff Classic here at the Pontiac Silverdome. I'm Joe Cochran, joined today by Bill Roos. Game just underway. Harper Notre Dame and Detroit Crocket. Flags all over on the play. About a 7-yard pickup, but I think this one's going to come back. Detroit Crocket, high hopes on the season, going deep into the state playoffs a year ago. Harper Notre Dame trying to knock on the door to get into the state playoffs. And the first play from scrimmage is a penalty. And Bill, you and I have talked. We've worked together a couple of years. A lot of penalties a lot of times early on.
Especially in week one, you can expect about 15 to 25 penalties, usually in that first game. Really, you have to look at the first opening game as still a scrimmage. These kids haven't been able to prepare but for 2 weeks, and one scrimmage early on really doesn't get them going until usually week 2 or 3.
So a 5-yard walk-off against Notre Dame, 1st and 15. They go with a run up the middle, and they pick up the first down, or they're very close to it. Britt Page, I believe, on the carry, and it is a first down. Great start after the big penalty there, Bill.
16-yard rip-off there for Paige Britt. Boy, 5'9", 226-pound senior, big kid.
So Britt gets him the first down, and Notre Dame will break out at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Detroit Crocket in a 4-3 defense, and we've got more movement. And I believe this is going to go against the Irish, and it will. Boy, Britt Page come just blasting out of there on that last carry for the first down.
And he's going to have to really torpedo that line, because on the other side is number 56, a big, powerful defensive tackle, Trevor Anderson, who's likely a Division I prospect here for the Crocket Rockets.
Well, Page is definitely a load. They run right, nothing there, cut it back inside, and then still nothing there, and maybe a pickup of 1.
And I'll tell you what, Anderson's the reason for that. He got a nice rip underneath that defensive or offensive guard on the left side of that line, and really busted up that play before it could even develop.
Number 7, Calvin Wiley Jr., the quarterback for Notre Dame, a senior, 6 foot 183. Now second down. Long count. He rolls right, has a wide open receiver, and he missed it. Too far out to be brought in, and it'll bring up 3rd and long. Boy, Billy had him open, too. He could have run forever.
Nice job by Wiley. He could have continued to run on his own if he chose to. But again, first game jitters, first series for Notre Dame. Wiley, I'm certain, will do a little bit better of a job next time at hitting his receiver.
Mondo was wide open. So now 3rd, and we'll call it 14.
And they're running out of the eye this time.
Got him open. Nice catch. He's going to be a bit short of the first down. I'll call it maybe by about a yard. Decision time here, Bill. 4th and maybe less than 1.
It's Emmanuel Johnson on the reception. Nice job of hauling that in and making a couple of nice moves after he caught the ball.
Well, they're going to punt. He didn't get a real good spot. It's a little over a yard for the first down.
14-yard reception.
Good job by the Crocket defenders, though, to bring him a little bit short of the first down. From the 44, Notre Dame to punt. Good spiral. Handled it to 23. Couple moves, a fumble, the ball goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That was Stephen Carter on the return. Had the ball swiped, and lucky for him, it went out of bounds. So, Bill, this Crocket team can be explosive. We've got some great players on this offense.
Awesome team last year, losing in the regional final in the state playoffs to Ida by 1 point. They lose pretty much their key player from last year's team, Prentice Williams, who is now playing ball at Division III Lane in Tennessee. And they're going to turn over the offense this year to number 9, Michael Collins.
Crocket brings it to the line of scrimmage. First play is to the right, and they pick up about 3 yards. Michael Collins, the quarterback for Detroit Crocket, number 9.
Wayne Seeley on the carry. He picks up about 4.
They'll call it 3, second down and 7.
I believe it's Dwayne Say is probably how he pronounces that.
S-E-A-Y, number 21. He's a senior as well, 5'10". Second and 7 for Crocket. A delay. And Notre Dame not fooled by that, and they hold him to a 2-yard pickup. Once again, Say on the carry. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Perhaps we'll see if they throw the ball, Bill.
That's certainly a throwing situation. 3rd and about 4 or 5.
8 minutes to go, opening quarter. First game of the season. Notre Dame out of Harper Woods against Detroit Crocket. A little late getting the play in here.
That offensive line for
just
Crocket is absolutely enormous.
It is huge. I was just getting ready to say that. 3rd and 5 for Crocket. 2 receivers to the near side. They do throw. And the play is well covered by the Notre Dame secondary.
Tried to force that ball into Creel White, who was well guarded by that secondary of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
So, with each team's first possession, they will exchange punts. 4th and 5, ball just short of the 31-yard line. Notre Dame perhaps to get some decent field position. But Bill, if Notre Dame could come in here and get a victory, they definitely the underdog. This would be huge for their season, especially playing in a tough Catholic league.
Well, especially for the new coaching staff too. George Sahady and staff would love to come in here and make a statement in week 1.
Notre Dame sends 2 men back at their 40. Good punt, great coverage. About a 1-yard return. He picked it up at about the 43, got to the 44.
Carlton Downs, a sophomore fullback defensive back.
Number 10.
On the reception.
Only a sophomore too, Bill.
1st and 10.
So Notre Dame with great field position at their own 44. 1st and 10, 7:21 to go, opening quarter. Were able to move it a little bit on their first possession. Were stopped and had to punt. Up the middle they go, and it's about a 2 or 3 yard pickup.
Rick Page again on a quick handoff.
Looks like he's going to be the man to carry the leg, though.
Well, he's the big, powerful back in that Notre Dame backfield who's really going to have to offset that gigantic defensive front for the Rockets.
This is a big Crocket team, both offensively and defensively.
Page picks up 4 on that last carry.
That was a tough 4 yards. They'll call it 2nd and 6 at the 48-yard line for Notre Dame. Looking to get into Crocket territory. Out of the eye. Great pass rush. He eludes the sack and gets back to the line of scrimmage. So that may not be considered a sack. They had him 2 or 3 times behind the line of scrimmage.
What a fantastic job by Calvin Wiley to avoid about a 10-yard loss. But as soon as he starts to roll out to his right, boy, he finds trouble immediately. Here we'll take another look at it.
Very agile.
Again, it's Booker and Anderson just crashing through that offensive line. We've not talked about Michael Booker yet. He's a 6'1", 270-pound sophomore on that defensive front. There you see number 50 right there, and there's Anderson busting through. 45's in the way too.
Finally, the linebacker Darius came up and got him. So it's 3rd and long now. And officials timeout here. I don't see any flags. And I believe it's a timeout for Crocket. Obviously, they saw something in the offense. They didn't kind of know what was going on there, Bill.
Yeah, that's an interesting timeout for Crocket to call here. Perhaps they just had a different defensive front and weren't happy with that. Couldn't change at the time.
5:37 to go, opening quarter. Joe Cochran along with Bill Roos here on CTND. The opening game of the season, Notre Dame, Detroit, Crocket. Bill, how many of these have you attended of the kickoff classes?
One before. This is the 24th annual that Brother Rice has hosted out here at the Pontiac Silverdome. It's almost like a ghost town here without the Lions playing here anymore.
Boy,
not much goes on at the Silverdome except for driving up today. I noticed the movie theaters, they do have the Silverdome drive-in.
Plenty of parking available.
You're not kidding. 4 big movie screens.
So both teams back now after the timeout. 3rd down, we'll call it about 7 at the Notre Dame 48-yard line. They go to the shotgun.
First time we've seen Notre Dame in this set.
Wiley throws it. Got a man, but great coverage.
Stephen Carter on the coverage on Matthew McDaniel.
Didn't really have anybody open. And now Notre Dame will have to punt for the 2nd time here today. And the man who broke up that pass play is now back to return to punt. He stands at about his 18, Carter. High snap, brought down. It's a short kick.
An end-over-end job, too.
It's picked up by the short man, William Darius. And he returns to about the 37-yard line.
Number 5, reception.
So decent field position now for Crocket. It looked like maybe they might get pinned a little bit deep, but the short kick now gives them great field position, Bill.
It certainly does. Both these teams trying to work out those early game jitters.
From their 37.
Nothing suits that a little bit better than good field position.
They just can't get over the size
Boy,
of
what
the Crocket offensive line. Look at that.
Awfully intimidating line, both offensively and defensively for this Rocket team.
Under the center. Oh, great defensive play for a 1-yard loss.
That's Britt Page, number 5, getting in there, making a huge hit. Submarine the blocker and was able to destroy that play.
Playing on both sides of the ball.
Here, take another look at it. What a hit.
2nd down.
So we'll call it a yard loss. 2nd down and 11.
Lorenzo John Jackson on that carry.
They go 2 wideouts. They go with the draw. And about a 3, maybe 4-yard pickup.
3 yards on that.
Dwayne Say again.
54.
So Say takes it just short of the 40, and they're looking at another 3rd and long for the Crocket Rockets. Again, they'll go 2 wide out.
It's certainly a passing situation here for the Rockets, who've only tried one pass prior to this.
One-on-one coverage on both sides. And they go up the middle for no gain. Again, Notre Dame plugging it up.
Shane Gilliard, number 54, the middle linebacker, coming up and just smacking that running back for the Rockets.
Great defensive play. Now it's 4th, and we'll call it about
There's
7.
Another look at field angle shot.
So Crockett the punt now. Line drive, but an excellent kick. Takes the returner back to about the 20, 30, 40. Great return. Emmanuel Johnson on the return of about 22 yards. So once again, Bill, Notre Dame set up in great field position. We'll call it the 40. First and 10 for the Irish.
Here's another look at that return.
Nice move right there.
And Johnson saw something over on the right-hand side, tried to get to it. Boy, the Rockets closed in pretty quickly on him.
Opening quarter, 3:11 to go. They run this side, and Crockett will have nothing to do with it. Maybe a 1-yard loss for the Irish.
They're so fast on defense. There's really nowhere for Jeremy Johnson to go.
Jeremy Johnson, the 5'11", 187 senior.
He'll lose a yard on that.
He sure will. Second down, 11 for Notre Dame. I'll tell you what, this Crockett defense, very aggressive. Two wide outs, full backfield. Wiley under the center. They go up the middle. Nice first move for about a 10-yard pickup, and Notre Dame will be looking at 3rd and short, and once again, Jeremy Johnson.
Nice job of Jeremy Johnson just breaking arm tackles to get past the line of scrimmage, and once he got past that, he was on the move for a 10-yard pickup.
So now 3rd, we'll call it a full yard at the 49 for Notre Dame.
There's another look at Johnson's 10-yard scamper.
See if they can't get the first down and get into Crocket territory, and they do. It's Wiley on a quarterback sneak, and he's over the 50 for a first down. Well, Wiley is quick.
He's very quick. They give him about a 2-yard pickup on that.
At the Crocket 49. So the first time we broke midfield here today.
Look at the size of number 5.
He is a load. But then they come with Jeremy Johnson, and they've got 2 tough guys, tough to bring down.
They're in a pro set right now, 2 wide.
Wiley drops back to pass. He's on the run. Pass rush has got him at the 43-yard line.
Brandon Graham, what a job he does, just tracking Wiley down from behind.
6'3", 235. Great speed for a big guy. A huge loss for the Irish. We'll call it 7. It'll be second down and 17.
Here's another look at it from field level. Wiley was looking right, couldn't find anything that way. Got flushed out of the pocket. Here right away, just gets one read downfield, and that was it.
We just talked about his quickness, and then the big guy brings him down. So we're under a minute to go now with 40 seconds, opening quarter.
The offensive line really needs to do a better job, Joe, stepping up and getting some blocks, giving him a few more seconds to look downfield and see a couple different reads.
They flare it out on a screen to Johnson. He's to the 50. This one's coming back. He's to the 40, 35. I think we're going to get a hold on Notre Dame.
And that's a shame, too, because what a fantastic job that both these guys did, Wiley and Johnson.
Let's see what the call is here. Oh, it's a clip. It's coming back regardless. Now that is a spot foul, Bill?
That's a spot foul from wherever that clip occurred. And usually you look at the flag.
Right around the 45.
It's at their 42. Yep. Line of scrimmage was 44. Here you see Stevie Miller's going to mark it off.
Well, Notre Dame's looking at a long second down now.
Boy, a 15-yard clip. Boy, that hurts.
So now it'll be second. We'll call it 23.
Here's another look. The clip was about the 42. That basically results in about a 17-yard penalty, spot of the foul.
And changes field position big time. Last play of the quarter is a run up the middle, and it's Britt, and he is to about the 34-yard line.
Number 5.
Britt Page, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the score Notre Dame nothing, Detroit Crocket nothing, and what has been a tough defensive battle here in the first quarter, Bill.
Yeah, it certainly has. Both defensive lines have been outstanding.
I think Notre Dame's seen some things that they can do here. They've either missed the open receiver, the bad penalty.
Well, you can see that they've got some offensive weapons. There's no doubt about it. And certainly George Sahady is no new coach at dealing with this. He's had plenty of talent in his previous career at Harper Woods Bishop Gallagher, then over at Trinity once that school merged with St. Florian.
Got some great players.
Well, look, he's had in the last few years 4 guys at the University of Michigan, including Braylon Edwards this year and Marcus Curry and Darnell Hood. He's got one guy, Curry's brother, Julius, who's now with the Detroit Lions.
Definitely been around.
Yeah, so he knows talent and he knows what to do with it, and that's key. It's one thing to have talent, but you have to be able to utilize it too. And he's doing a nice job with Wiley. He's rolling him out and using his athletic ability. I mean, he really kind of reminds me of a high school version of another number 7 in Michael Vick. He's doing a real nice job of rolling out, but he needs to be aware of who's behind him and who's chasing him. Certainly that last play, the 7-yard sack by Crocket, he needs to be aware a little bit, and that offensive line needs to start picking up some people on the backside.
I think he was really surprised to see Big 55 there. So now they go to the shotgun. Third, and we'll call it forever. Back to throw. It's a screen. 35, 40, 44-yard line. So they get a lot of it back. They'll have to pump, but they get a lot of their field position back. There was Johnson on the reception.
Picks up 11 on that.
So it's fourth and about 15 yards. And Notre Dame again to punt. Morasso to punt for the Irish. He stands at his 30. Stephen Carter to return. Short kick, picked up on the fly at the 35, 40, 45. This one's coming back. 45, 40, and out of bounds, but this one I believe is coming back with a illegal block.
Yep, another flag.
Early in the season, we'll see a lot of this. A nice return nonetheless.
Waiting for the call from referee Michael Smith.
A hold.
Here's another look at a low snap. Nice job by Morasso to pick up that ball.
Let's see if we can pick up the hold here. See anything there? Maybe perhaps right there.
Here we might actually be able to see it here on this angle. Just don't see it.
I didn't see a whole lot of anything there. Nice return. So still good field position. As Crocket will take over at their own 44. Actually their best field position of the day. Exactly 11 minutes to go in the half. And an official timeout here. Timeout Notre Dame. So
Notre Dame needs to call that timeout because they only had 10 players on the field. Number 60 came sprinting out. David Newman came out probably a bit too late. Probably would have been caught out of position, so they needed to call that timeout.
well, you'll see a lot of these things early on in the season. Timeouts, not enough players on the field, penalties. But they'll get this worked out by the second week.
Yeah, you certainly would hope so if you plan on making the state playoffs, which Notre Dame has never done in their history. And that's why this game becomes so crucial, especially for this new coaching staff. Not only do they want to make a statement today with a good outing, they want to win and get that first win. That would require only 5 more to go before they can qualify for the tournament.
And the same thing could be said for Crocket. Both playing in tough leagues. You got to get that non-league games.
Sure. Crockett's a relatively brand new school over on Mack Avenue near 75. They only have an all-time record of 42 wins and 29 losses. They've made the state playoffs 4 times. Notre Dame's been around since probably the 50s and have never made the playoffs.
Well, perhaps this is the year, but they're going to have to get through a tough league play to do it. Crocket on the first play, they run left and pick up about 5 yards. They'll call it 2nd and 5. They're going no huddle now, Bill.
Yeah, just trying to mix it up a little bit, try to confuse the defense. Not a bad idea.
Collins yelling out the play to everybody. They go right up the middle again. And there's nothing there this time. They're not going to be able to run up the middle against the Irish. That's 3 or 4 times now. They have shut it down for no gain or a loss.
Like a boxing match, you just want to keep hitting that core. Just keep pounding it up the middle, and eventually it'll soften. And certainly that's what that's what any team that's trying to establish the run is going to try to do.
Well, let's see if they don't try to throw. They've been throwing on 3rd down, single back, 3 wideouts.
Yep. 2 wide to the bottom part of your screen.
Yep. He is going to throw. He's looking for a receiver. He's on the run now, being chased. He may pick up the first down, and he does. Great job by Michael Collins to get out of bounds and the first down for Crocket. Nobody was open, Bill Roos.
No, not at all. Does a nice job of eluding Darius Hall, number 77 for the Irish.
Again, no huddle. And 4 wideouts. Takes a snap. Going deep. Got a man out there in double coverage. It's intercepted by the Irish. 20, 30, and up to the 37-yard line.
Michael Emmanuel Johnson on pick.
Bill, he threw that into double coverage. Didn't really have him open. And I think he just rushed the throw.
He certainly does. And just a rookie mistake. This is his team now. This is the first time he's really set back in that quarterback's position since Prentice Williams graduated.
The ball was intended for Cario White, number 3. And he was covered like a blanket out there. So now the Irish at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
How's that for a bucket
Wow,
play?
we're talking about getting into the backfield.
Howard Copeland, number 95. Boy, we're calling different players every play, it seems, for this defense and for the Crocket Rockets.
You know, Wiley never had a chance. I think he was supposed to pitch that ball from the beginning, and he never got an opportunity. It's a good thing he did. He probably would have fumbled.
Probably a smart move on his part to hold on to it.
So let's call it 2nd and 14 now after the 4-yard loss on the sack. And it looks like the defenses are setting the tone here today. Wiley under the center, 2 wideouts. Back to throw. Flush from the pocket, he's in trouble. And he's going to go down again.
And it's Copeland again.
Back to the 26-yard line, even knocked him out of his shoe.
Number 95, Howard Copeland, 5'11", only 200-pound junior. I find that hard to believe, too, with some of these numbers. These kids look like behemoths.
So they're looking at 3rd and long again.
There's another look at that pursuit by Howard Copeland.
The Irish possibly looking to go downfield on this play.
That was the Rockets' 3rd sack of the day already.
3rd down, 22 yards for a Notre Dame first down. He's on the run again. He's in serious trouble. He gets rid of it, and he throws it into a crowd. And it's incomplete. Notre Dame, once again, will have to punt.
That's probably a smart thing that he was able to overthrow Paul Nielsen. If he gets that anywhere near anybody's hands, that could be picked off and tipped.
Morasso into punt again for Notre Dame. But you know what? They have been all over him. At least 3 sacks.
3 sacks already for the Rockets. Heck, the way they're pursuing the ball, it might not be long before we get a defensive touchdown.
You're not kidding. High punt. Picked up again on the fly at the 48, and he's out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Stephen Carter, he's exciting. He picks that ball on the fly, and he's ready to go. Only 7:46 to go in the half. We have yet to have a score here in the 2004 season opener. You're watching the 24th annual Prep Kickoff Classic from the Pontiac Silverdome, CTND. I'm Joe Cochran along with Bill Roos. The officials going over some things there with the coaching staff for Notre Dame.
Here we take a look at George Sahady. Coach Masserang, one of his long-time assistants.
From what I understand, they are just thrilled to be at Notre Dame.
Yeah, they got to Notre Dame before the holidays last year when they were hired. And yeah, they've been tickled ever since.
3 wideouts, man in motion. They go up the middle. Nice run of about 8 yards for Say. And it's 2nd down and 2. And this is the deepest penetration of the football game. Crocket again, no huddle, 4 wideouts. Again, Carter in motion. They go up the middle and they have the first down and much more. Again, it's Say. And right now, Crocket can feel it. Oh, with this no huddle, they keep the chain gang on the move.
You're not kidding. 4-yard pickup for Say.
Up the middle they go for about a 3-yard pickup. I believe this one's Jackson. Number 23 for Crocket it is. And he gets 3 yards, 2nd down, 7. He exit. Well, they just keep running backs in and out of here. Deep at the running back position. Man in motion, they go up the middle again. That one's Pettit's, and he picks up about 2 or 3 yards. Boy, he is a load. 5'9", 195. Looks bigger than that. Only a junior.
They all look bigger than the numbers that they're giving.
We call it 3rd down and 5 for Detroit Crocket. Having trouble getting the play in here. They may have to call a timeout.
Yep,
and they do. Probably the wise thing. I don't think they were going to get that play off, Bill. So Collins calls the timeout, comes over to the sideline, and a scoreless tie with 5:51 to go in the opening half. Well, they got going in that no huddle, and Notre Dame seems to have a hard time tracking them down.
And even though we're indoors today, It is a bit humid, and it's going to be a lot hotter down on that plastic field. Remember, these players have practiced for 2 weeks, and in the state of Michigan, the last 2 weeks, we really haven't had bad weather at all. It's been really relatively unseasonably cool, and really yesterday was the first really hot, humid day that we had, the opening night of high school football. And while it's stormy and humid outside, it's equally, if not double, humid in here.
Well, you and I were at a football game last night, and it looked like Lakeview, by late in the second quarter, they were just gasping. It was so hot.
Yeah, and it's going to wear on these kids. They've been fooled by the weather the last couple of weeks.
We saw Warren Woods Tower in Lakeview. Tower with the big victory, 42-12. Opening game here for these two clubs. Man in motion, they run left. They're not going to pick up the first down, but they're going to be close. Jackson, a couple yards short. So now, Bill, got to go for it. 4th and about 2.
Yeah, you go for it here. Certainly, with any team in the public school, and this has been going on for years, they just don't have kicking games.
Exactly.
So you're not looking for 3 points here. You're 4th down territory right now on the opposing team's 26.
And you know what? He did not get a good spot. I wonder if he went down on his knee and then lunged for another yard or two, because they're calling it maybe 3.5 or 4. So they're going for it.
4 receivers set.
Back to throw. Got him wide open, but it's too short. And that will not be the first down. He is short.
Jamal Thomas does a fantastic job. Nobody touches him on the edge on the right side. He just comes blasting in and disrupts that entire play by Michael Collins.
He did not get the first down, Bill. He fell right down, nobody around him.
I'll tell you, it's awfully close.
I think he's...
Here's another look at it, Joe.
I think
look at Thomas. What a job.
Bill, I think he's almost a yard short. A half yard short anyway. The marker is inside the 13. He's at or just short of the 13. Or 23. The 23-yard line.
They're going to measure it here. You say it's short.
I say it's short.
I say he gets it by the nose of the ball.
Okay. Mark it down, folks.
Boy, he missed by
Mark it down, folks. We'll call it a draw, Bill. Okay. But the ball goes over to Notre Dame.
It'll be a turnover on down.
All he had to do was lunge forward, Bill. Here's the play.
No, get over here. Get over here.
Perhaps the ball thrown a little low.
Well, again, it's thrown low because of the job that Jamal Thomas does for Notre Dame.
Wiley back to pass. Got all kinds of time. Now he's flushed out. And give the Crocket secondary all the credit in the world. Everybody covered for Notre Dame.
Robert Eddings picks up the sack.
So now it'll be 2nd and long. And I tell you what, in this second quarter, Wiley's been running for his life.
Notre Dame calls a timeout. Coach Zahedi gathering his troops together here.
Yeah, weather definitely not a factor. You're in the dome, but it is very humid in here.
Yeah, while we were talking about last night's games, the opening night of high school football around the state of Michigan, many games, particularly around our region, were disrupted because of lightning strikes. And they'll finish up sometime this weekend. There is the sack again by Eddings. Just the pressure that these guys... See, too many guys are standing around in green. They're not picking up guys, but perhaps they're just not as quick as this defensive front.
So once again, 2nd and long for the Irish. Wiley back to throw.
Straight bull rush by Anderson. Look at him.
He picks up a yard or two. The ball's fumbled, I believe. Wiley doesn't have it. Another Irish does. I believe it's Britt Page. who came up with it for the Irish, luckily, because they're inside the 20-yard line. And another player knocked out of his shoes. It is Page.
Yep.
Number 5, Page. The recovery.
And right now, the Crocket defense
Here's another look.
overwhelming the Irish.
Look at Anderson, 56, just strips that ball out.
Third down, and let's call it 15 at the Notre Dame 19. Two wideouts to the near side, and they go with the draw. Crocket not fooled. About a 5-yard pickup, and Notre Dame will be forced to punt from their own 25-yard line.
Number 32.
Lamonsi.
Lamazny. Wonder if he's any relation to the Lamaznies that played at Chippewa Valley for so many years.
Very possible. Definitely a well-known football name.
Certainly is.
We're coming up on 3.5 minutes to go, opening half. Once again, Crocket to get good field position. Nice high punt. Fair catch. Or Notre Dame player made contact, but no call. And the Crocket coaching staff all over the officials there.
Number 6, Aaron.
They're saying that he did not really signal fair catch. Coach is talking to him about it right now.
All defense so far in this first half, Joe. 43 total yards for both ball clubs right now.
On their own 47-yard.
Dead even.
Taking another angle at that last punt.
Yeah, that was not really a fair catch. So Crocket once again in great field position. 1st and 10, their own 47-yard line.
Crocket's with one timeout remaining here in the opening half. Notre Dame has expired all 3 of theirs.
Go 4 wide out again, and they go deep. It's over the middle, and it's caught at about the 28-yard line by Floyd Simmons. Take that back. Stephen Carter on the reception. And once again, Crocket knocking on the door at the 29-yard line. Clock running, just over 3 minutes to go, opening half. They go to the air again, this time to the left for about a 5-yard pickup. Darius Williams on the reception.
Number 5,
And it's 2nd and 5 now. Crocket doesn't really have to be in a hurry, Bill. They got over 2.5 minutes here. And a timeout left. They go to the air again. They come near side, and that ball is nowhere as near being caught. And it's 2nd down to 10 now. 3rd and 5 for Crocket. You see the nice reception here over the middle. Nice throw and catch. Carter hauling in the pass from Collins. Collins back to throw again. He is nailed for a sack at the 27-yard line.
Jamal Thomas.
No one touched him.
Here's another look at it. Comes off the edge again, just like that last series.
So the defenses continue to step up. And now Crocket looking at it 4th and let's call it 7. With under 2 minutes to go in the opening half now. Back to throw. Going for it all. Got a man, and it's caught.
Carter.
Touchdown. Boy, that is a backbreaker on 4th and long, and you're beat for a touchdown with 1:41 to go in the half. Great toss, great catch. Crocket leads 6-0.
Nice job by Collins just lofting that ball up and leading his receiver.
They didn't go with the 4 wideouts that time, Bill. They went with the 2. They had to have some more blocking. They picked everything up, and it was one-on-one coverage, and they are going to kick for the extra point.
Dwayne Say, the running back.
Extra point is
no good.
So a big miss there, and it's 6-0 Detroit Crocket. Nice play on 4th down, one-on-one coverage. And when you're out there with a speedster, Bill, sometimes it's just like being out there on an island. There it is.
Here's another look.
That's the sack. They picked him up there by leaving in the wideouts on that play.
They're just a 2-step drop, it looked like. The cornerback just falls.
He walked into the end zone from the 5-yard line. So we do get on the board before the half.
The thing was, not only did he have Carter wide open on the right side, he had number 5 split right down the middle. Darius Williams was lined up as a slot or a tight end. I think he had plenty of options on that play.
I think that was the play all the way, though. I think that was the called play. They were going to number 8 right there, Stephen Carter, all the way.
Well, let's see how Notre Dame can respond to this now.
Well, they picked up Jamal Thomas that time blitzing. And that gave Collins all the time he needed for the touchdown pass. So Notre Dame with no timeouts, unless they get some field position, they may just try to kill the clock after this return. At the 10, 20. Swarmed under the 24-yard line, nothing happening. Crocket, great coverage.
Carlton Downs on that return.
Nowhere to go, only a sophomore.
John Daniels here running out the field on the tackle.
So I put you on the coaching staff, Bill. Run the clock out, try to make something happen. You got a long way to go, no timeouts.
We'll try to see how much yardage you can chew up here. There's some things that you can still work on here in 135.
I look for a delay here, maybe. Pick up something big on a draw.
But you got to be careful here too, because you don't want to get too fancy, especially with this bull rush front line of the Rockets. You don't want to give them any chances to turn something over or make hay out of a bad play.
They're going to throw, and there's no time. That's the danger too, though. Bill is trying to go back to pass too, and there's this fierce pass rush of 5 sacks now. I think you run the clock out. Crockett's only got 1 timeout left.
56.
You're deep in your own end. You're only down 6.
That's Trevor Anderson again on that side. This kid is just a Division I college prospect that we're watching today.
Well, that's been the story here. Is that defensive line for Crocket.
And, this isn't just a senior-laden defensive unit. They've got a couple sophomores here too, are just as good.
2nd and 15, once again a heavy rush, and he's going to go down. It's another sack for Crocket. We might have had lightning at our game last night, but this Crocket defense, lightning quick on D.
Kid, 6 sacks already in this opening half. And you can see the frustration right there in Wiley's face. Just a bewildered look right now.
Well, Crocket calls a timeout, and that's their last timeout.
Sure, Crockett's going to get the ball back here perhaps.
Well, if they run one play, I don't see, they might force a punt, but I don't think they'll have enough time to do anything. If they're out of timeouts, I think they just run one play. By the time they set the clock, it's going to be tough for them to even force a punt.
You never know. They could do something here on special teams. And the way this defense is playing, why not call that timeout and force a turnover here? They've already stripped the ball once. They've already got 1 interception. Or take that back. It's
Oh, it's great to call the
Interceptions
time.
go
You
away.
never know, you might cause a fumble, but I think the time will probably run out if Notre Dame can run a play here and run a few seconds off the clock.
Well, they give you the timeouts not to keep them. You can't
Oh,
carry
absolutely. You
them
don't
over,
want
so
to
you
take
might as
them
well
in.
use them.
Definitely nothing wrong in doing it. I just don't think they're going to have enough time to do anything, but it's a great idea. You don't want to take them in there. You got momentum on your side, 6-0. If you can force some kind of mistake down here. Well, let's see what the Irish do.
They're lined up in an I formation. They're going to run the ball.
And they'll run enough time off the clock. I don't think they'll have to snap the ball.
Number 5,
Brick Page on that carry. Notre Dame.
Wait, Crocket had another timeout.
Yeah, that wasn't showing on the board.
No, it sure wasn't.
With 24 seconds left, certainly they can run a play or two.
Well, not only that, with the speedsters returning the punt, they're going to return. They're going to receive the punt inside the 50. But early on, the board had no timeouts.
Right, you're going to get Stephen Carter back here deep. Here we're looking at the scoring drive for the Rockets. 5 plays, 53 yards. And that beautiful hookup from Collins to Carter.
I think we'll see a lot more of that in the second half. They get this one-on-one coverage out here.
Well, in order for Notre Dame to really be competitive here in the second half, they're going to have to establish the run.
And they had early in the first quarter. They had some really great runs. They had 2 or 3 backs. They were shuttling in and out.
Yeah, they've run the ball for 41 yards. They're -8 now in passing with the 6 sacks.
And Notre Dame's got to be careful here on this punt return. Crocket short one man. He gets into the play.
And it is Carter deep.
Oh, he caught. Why did he not try to catch that ball?
That surprised me because he has in the past already today made some running catches coming up and taking the ball on the run.
Caught it. I just don't understand that.
Well, it's week 1, Joe. It's week 1.
Perhaps the instructions is let it hit. But he had no one around him. He was inside the 45. And so now Crockett will have the 32 with just 15 seconds to go.
Jamal Thomas coming in, number 11. He's going to have to make a big play here, too, on the defense.
Let's take a look here now.
Nice punt. Here he waves for the fair catch and just lets it go.
At the 40-yard line. He had 10 yards to run.
Tremendous roll there for Notre Dame, and they can breathe a sigh of relief here in the first half.
Crockett may just take a knee.
No knees, Joe. No knees. You got to come up with something here. And they're going 4 receiver set. 1 back left to block.
Plenty of time to throw. And they get it out of bounds at about the 40 with 10 seconds to go in the half.
number 8,
Boy, I tell you, Notre Dame had 6 defensive backs. Perhaps a Hail Mary here. With no timeouts left. 4 wideouts, and they take a knee.
Doesn't make much sense.
and that'll wrap up the first half.
Maybe they heard me, Bill, at the first play. But that'll do it for the first half. With the score, Detroit Crocket 6, Notre Dame nothing. Bill, we had a great defensive battle here, except there toward that last drive for Crocket where they really pushed it down Notre Dame's throat.
They certainly did. Look for a little bit more from the air from Mr. Collins. And like I said, Notre Dame really needs to establish the run here in the second half if they're going to make any hay.
Go back to what they started in the first quarter.
Certainly.
They had some good yardage there in the second quarter. They didn't hardly move the ball at all. Probably negative yardage in the second quarter.
And you see George is talking with Steve Miller. Can't imagine what he's discussing, but probably didn't like something he saw here in the first half.
Yeah, he was talking to them earlier about some things and perhaps asking for a clarification on some things.
Coach Say's been around the league for a long time. I'm sure he's going to work those officials as much as he can.
Yeah, well respected, been around the league for a long, long time.
On the same vein as a Tom Mack at CC or an Al Fracasso over at Brother Rice.
Exactly. Well, I don't think he's satisfied, but he's going to take his team off the field. So that'll do it for the first half. Come back for the second half. The score: Detroit Crocket 6, Notre Dame nothing.
Education is the key to a successful future. There are 35 Catholic high schools in the Detroit metro area. 92% of the graduates of these schools continue their education after high school. A Catholic education also teaches good Christian values, which students will carry with them for a lifetime. For more information, call the Catholic high school in your area or the Catholic Schools office at 313-237-4676.
Welcome back for second half action of the 24th Prep Kickoff Classic. I'm Joe Cochran along with Bill Roos. Detroit Crocket leading Notre Dame 6-0, getting a score here just before the half. And Bill, a defensive struggle, really.
Big defensive struggle, especially if you're Notre Dame. You're not able to move the ball whatsoever. 33 total yards in offense in that first half. Unfortunately for them, they were sacked 6 times for a minus 33 yards. Here we're going to take a look at that first quarter touchdown drive. Crocket goes 5 plays, 53 yards. Beautiful pass from Collins to Carter, 26 yards. And the point after attempt was wide right.
I was surprised they didn't go for 2.
Especially a city school. They usually do that. Here's another look at that.
Nice pass.
Defensive back just falls. Carter has an easy lane to the end zone.
That was with about 2 minutes to go in the half.
They had tried that play several times actually in the first half, and that was the biggest hitter
Bill,
for Crocket. You see the Rockets' possessions in the first half.
1 turnover. And then they killed the clock there from their own 32 on a couple of plays. It was kind of an odd ending. Of course, the word is punt for Notre Dame. 6 punts. 22 plays on those 6 possessions. That's not going to get it done, Bill.
No, not at all. You got to be able to move the ball. And they're having a hard time establishing the run. They've all but abandoned the run late in the first half and tried exclusively to go to the pass. And they're going to have to rethink that here in the second half.
And I think Wiley's been running for his life there. Do you expect him to kind of come out a little shell-shocked? Or
I think
he's been sacked 6 times.
Yeah, I think he's shell-shocked right now. And I think in order to get some of that heat off of him, they're going to have to get Britt Page the ball a few times. I mean,
he was their bread and butter in the first quarter.
He's a big kid, 5'9", 226 pounds, and he's really the only kid that can offset that size of the Rocket front 4. You got to be able to bust him up the middle a few times and soften up that interior line for the Rockets if you're going to get anything done.
Minus 8 yards total passing.
Total passing with the 6 sacks in there.
And you had the one wide open miss there at about midfield early on in one of their early drives. I think that was key in this game because they pick up the first down there, and they had the running game going as well.
Yep, they had some balance in the beginning, but then they started feeling that pressure. That defensive front and those linebackers for the Rockets really got going here.
And you talked about Page. He had 28 yards in the first half. Other than that, there was nothing really to hang their hats on offensively. Defensively, they played tough.
They did a nice job. Jamal Thomas, the outside rush end, did a nice job, had a sack for himself. Gilliard did a nice job defensively for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame will kick off to start the second half. We're coming to you from the Pontiac Silverdome. Joe Cochran, along with Bill Roos.
Here's the deep backs. Number 3, the nearest to us, is Keel White. and then Steve Carter on the far side. And they're going to receive Anthony Marasso's kick momentarily.
Who probably had more of a workout than anybody for Notre Dame. He had 6 punts.
He certainly did.
In the first half. So Notre Dame to kick off now. Looking to come up with something big defensively here and set the offense up. The kick is a decent kick. Back to the 5. 10. 20. And great coverage at the 21-yard line for Notre Dame.
Aaron Gant on the tackle. 6'1", 167 junior. We're going to take another look at Marasso's kickoff.
Nice looking kick.
Everyone stays in their lanes. Beautiful job by Gant coming from the outside.
Crocket yet to enter the field of the offense here.
And this might be the worst field position for either of these teams heading into the second half, starting at their own 21.
Let's see if they go with the no huddle. They do. They huddled up on the sideline for...
And they're going to get a delay.
You knew this was coming. They were over there for a long time. So now they'll be 50 yards, or 5 yards deeper. Crocket starting on their own 40, Notre Dame their own 32. So not bad field position for these clubs, Bill.
No, not in the first half.
Defenses have stepped up.
Certainly changed right now.
A 5-yard penalty for delay of games, 1st and 15. We'll see if Notre Dame can take advantage of it on defense. They try to run the ball wide, and nothing there.
Dwayne Say getting the carry.
Number 21 on the carry.
No gain.
1 yard loss.
That's a 1 yard loss, actually, it looks like, Joe.
We'll call it 2nd and 11.
Second down.
So Notre Dame picking up where they left off in the first half. Great defense, except for the last drive where they gave up the long scoring play.
There's some confusion right off the bat here with Crocket again. They're going 4 wide.
One-on-one coverage everywhere. Back to throw, all kinds of time. Got a man open, ball tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Beautiful job.
That was Page, I believe.
Number 5, Britt Page.
Got his hands on it. And now a big play for both clubs. 3rd and about 16 for a first down.
There's a look at Michael Collins. He's thrown for 80 yards in this ball game already. He's been sacked once.
Great play by Page. The receiver was open at about the 20. Four wideouts. 1 running back. Man in motion. Back to throw. Scrambling to his right. Thinks about taking off with it. Dumps it off. Finds an open man. First down, 30, 35-yard line, and up to the 36-yard line. Another first down for Crocket. It doesn't get any bigger than that on 3rd and long, Bill.
And that's Creel White again, number 3.
Great scrambling ability and finding the man wide open.
That's a 20-yard pickup, Joe.
Needed 16, got 20. A draw up the middle and a 9-yard pickup, and Notre Dame now seems a little bit on their heels. That was Say again. 2nd and 1, they go no huddle.
Boy, for a team that looked like they were bunched up in their own end, they busted out pretty quickly here. 2 big plays.
Yeah, it looked like Notre Dame had it going their way, and then the big 3rd down play. Another running play, and it'll be enough for a first down. Only a couple, but he only needed 1. Jackson on the carry. And it is a first down. They moved the chains. They're up to the 47-yard line now. Crocket now goes into a huddle.
From the 47.
See some of the Notre Dame players now, hands on their hips. Very warm in the building here today. 1st and 10, Crocket at the 47.
Wide open.
And he's gone. 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Boy, did they make that look easy.
Darius Williams, how's that for going vertical?
Michael Collins just laid it out there. After going wide, they split the seams, go down the middle, and it's Crocket 12-0 now.
We had mentioned earlier, even on that last touchdown pass to Carter in the first half,
They got to go for 2 here.
that Williams was wide open down the middle, too, on that touchdown pass.
No one near him. He waltzed to the end zone. He didn't even have to put the burners on. Now, I think Crockett's might have to call a timeout here. They're going to get another delay. They're having trouble getting this play in. They're going to have to call a timeout.
Yep.
There it is.
That's bad news.
Yeah, on a PAT.
Here we're going to take another look at that touchdown. Williams lined up as a tight end, just fires right down the middle, wide open, just splits a secondary. You need some help there with the safeties, and safeties were just nowhere to be found.
He was not going to be caught.
Boy, what a beautiful catch on the run.
Long stride.
Yet never broke his stride at all. Beautiful play. Here's a further angle. No safety
contest.
help at all.
Nope. So Notre Dame trying to come up with the stop here on the 2-point conversion, trailing 12-0. Anything would be big for them now.
Well, it's disheartening, too, if you're Notre Dame, because one of your strengths heading into the season, according to the coaching staff, was the secondary. And giving up touchdown passes at 26 and 53 yards certainly isn't a strength.
Well, you got that right. 153 yards passing, 2 TD passes.
And I know that one of the areas that the Rockets wanted to work on was quarterbacking.
Full backfield. They run left and stopped at about the 6-inch line. I mean, he was inside the 1.
Tom Mondondo, number 16.
Let's take a look at this stop. I mean, he was ever so close
Oh, this is beautiful.
to cashing in on 2.
Jackson should have turned it up there, and he decides he's going to try to head for that corner.
But give number 3 some credit for Notre Dame as well. Johnson, he got in on that, made the initial hit. There it is.
Nice shot.
Good work, but everybody.
Nice high-low tackling on that play.
So a big stop by the Irish, but they got to get something going offensively here. 9:37 to go, third quarter. And since really the opening drive, there's been no offense for the Irish.
No. But defensively, they have to be wary of the big plays. They can't give up too many more of those. It's going to be a long game, and it's going to be a long season. Heck, they've got Brother Rice to worry about next week, too. They talk about getting fed right to the fire if you're this new coaching staff.
Yeah, I think Brother Rice has been to some state finals.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Great coaching staff, great team, and that'll be a tough one for the Irish. But right now they got to worry about Detroit Crocket. Line drive kick is handled. And on the return to about the 28-yard line for the Irish, I believe that was Carlton Downs with the return.
Here comes Wiley.
It was a tough kick to handle.
Here's Crockett's last scoring drive. 6 plays, goes for 79 yards. That's after a couple bad penalties and their end of the field. Williams with the 53-yard haul-in from Collins. And once again, the point after fails.
So 153 yards passing, 53 come on that play. And now Notre Dame's going to have to open it up. Up the middle they go.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. Get a nice rip-off on the carry.
No need to panic. You're down only 2 scores.
Number 3.
There's Johnson on the run.
Picks up about 5 on that kick. They really need to establish the run. I don't know how many times we can berate that issue. but they're not going to get it done passing, particularly with the sound job that the secondary has done for the Rockets. And that pass rush is just
They're still going to have to mix it up, though.
unbelievable. Well, they will eventually, but you have to start softening up that front line.
2nd and 5. They go up the middle again, and it's a first down by
Big
Page.
play.
Big time. Boy, Notre Dame needed that, and they're out to the 49-yard line. Page nearly broke that, Bill.
Number 5.
19-yard run by Page.
I tell you, he is the bread and butter of this offense. They went away from him after the first quarter.
Well, he's certainly the bread and butter of the running game. Wiley's going to have to get some blocking up front in order to get that passing game going. But Page is going to be key here in the second half.
1st and 10 from the 48 now. Notre Dame. Crocket is offside.
And that's the first time we've seen some anxiousness or some undisciplined activity from this defensive front.
I just started to say we're not seeing as many flags now, and we get one here.
It's going to be an offside.
1st and 5 now for Notre Dame as they get into Crocket territory at the 47-yard line.
The thing is, the Rockets' front four has done a really nice job of sitting back in their three-point stance, not jumping, unlike that last play, where it wasn't just one guy. It seemed like the entire, at least
the
3
whole
of the 4
line,
guys were
3 out of
jumping.
4, for sure.
So you got to give credit to Wiley on that. Perhaps he's changing his cadence up a little bit and drawing them off.
Late player substitution for Crocket.
As John Daniels comes in and Stephen Carter goes out.
I think there might have been an equipment problem, perhaps. They run this side and nothing happening, and now you're looking at 2nd and 10. Boy, the pursuit, Bill.
Nothing there for Johnson at all to try to get to the outside. He loses 4 on that.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 now for the Irish. And they may have to go pass here.
Second down.
They go pro set again with Johnson and Page in the backfield.
Set something up for the pass. He is back to throw. He's under pressure. Gets out of it and gets to the 50 to avoid the sack for a small 2-yard gain.
I'll tell you what, Britt Page does a beautiful job of picking up the outside rush.
Be 3rd and about 8.
If he doesn't pick up Howard Copeland coming around that right edge, it's lights out again for Mr. Wiley.
This is a huge play for Notre Dame. They've really got to make something happen here. That defense is probably a little tired. They really need to come away with something on the board on this drive. 6:55 to go, 3rd quarter. Notre Dame looking to make something happen. They trail 12-0. Wiley on a rollout. Finds an open man at the 40, and it's a first down.
Number 15,
Paul Nielsen on that catch.
Nice catch by Nielsen. Knew where he had to go, got to the 40, got a first down. 1st and 10, Notre Dame.
Crocket, 40-yard.
Nice curl-in pattern. Nice throw. First down, Notre Dame. They go up the middle. And they get some daylight to about the 36, 35-yard line. They need to get those 4- and 5-yard pickups on first down. And they do. Once again with Jeremy Johnson. That's a great mix between him and Page.
Yep. Johnson can get to the outside. Page just busts it up the middle. Kind of like a Jerome Bettis type power runner.
4-yard gain on play.
They'll call it a 4-yard gain, 2nd down, 6-4 Notre Dame. Perhaps they come back with Page this time. Long count. They go to throw. Once again, chased out of the pocket. Got a man open, but led him too far to the outside.
Incomplete pass.
And it is third down now.
Creel White had great position in the quarterback spot. Blocking out Matthew McDaniel. There was no way for him to really get that ball.
Well, you're definitely in 4-down territory now, Bill.
Especially with only about 17 minutes left in this ball game. Down by 2 scores.
3rd and 6 at the 36 of Crocket. Deepest penetration yet for Notre Dame. Good move by Johnson. He's got the first down. He's outside now, 20. And down to the 19-yard line of Detroit Crocket.
What a beautiful run. Great single effort by Jeremy Johnson.
No, I think they were keying on Page as well there. Johnson gets the carry, and now he's picked up
16 yards on that carry.
some of the offense for Notre Dame. He comes out of the game now. And you may see Notre Dame maybe go right for it right now. Try to get some pay dirt now.
Beautiful cut to the outside, way to lower his shoulder, protect the ball. Nice job. Here's another look at it. Beautiful hit. Nice pad level for Johnson.
Split 2 receivers. They run wide right. Nice move. Inside the 10 to the 5, and it's 1st and goal for the Irish.
Now, Danny Lamazny, all of a sudden, where's he come from?
It looked like he was going to be hit for a loss. Was able to get outside, and they're looking at 1st and goal now on the 15-yard run. That is huge for the Irish.
He's the man all of a sudden, picking up a big 15 yards for the Irish.
And Crocket wants timeout. They are on their heels on this drive by Notre Dame. Let's take a look here. He eludes the first man, Bill. Right there.
Nice job. But I protect that ball a little bit better, boys. He carrying that like a loaf of bread. Lucky he doesn't get that punched out by number 95. Howard Copeland. But he's able to hold on to it and pick up a big 15 yards. It's only his 2nd carry of the ball game. He's got 17 yards already.
Perhaps the defense is getting a little bit tired in the warm building here today. Very humid outside.
And another key for this Rocket team is going to be that they only have 1 timeout remaining in this ball game.
That could be huge, especially if the Irish get on the board, we get a close game, or if they take the lead. Because they had to burn that one on the extra point.
There you're taking a look at the Notre Dame sideline.
The brain trust.
Here we go. 1st and goal from the 5 for the Irish.
Look for him to pound it up the middle. They do, and it's Page to about the 2.5. Nice pickup on 1st down. I think they can continue to pound it right here, Bill.
Yeah, you have to if you're Notre Dame. And it's the best scoring opportunity you've had all ball game. And this would be a huge pick-me-up right now, too, if they can cross that goal line.
Trying to get back in the game. Down 12-0, Notre Dame knocking on the door. Wiley calls the signals. They attempt to throw it. He's going to get sacked, and that's a huge play. Back to the 13-yard line. Bill, I don't understand why you go to the pass. You're having success on the ground.
Here's another field level look at that last play. There you see Howard Copeland. Nobody touches him. Dances right around Britt Page, who's done a magnificent job actually this half in blocking and passing situations. He just doesn't pick up the big fella.
They move his forward progress to the 10.
It's a 7-yard sack.
Big time play there.
Now you're forcing yourself into another passing situation on 3rd down.
And you don't want to have to go field goal. They go up the middle. They make it in. It's Chesson, and he's 3rd down and 10. They run the ball up the gut, and Jeremy Johnson gets Notre Dame on the board. It's 12-6 now. And the Irish will kick for the extra point to try to cut it to 12-7. Great drive for the Irish. 72 yards. And now the Morasso, the punter, also kicking extra points. He's in now to try to make this a 5-point game. The snap is low, but it's handled. The kick is blocked. Bad snap. Hit the ground before the tee, and that gave enough time for the Crocket defenders in there.
Here, Joe, we're going to take another look at this touchdown. I think the Rockets are expecting a pass in this situation.
3:17
I think we all
But
were.
once Johnson gets past that line of scrimmage, he's gone. There's nobody in there touching him. No linebacker support, no safeties at all.
Wasn't touched to almost the goal line. There's the sack. Well, he got a good mark on that sack
He certainly did.
because he was back at the 14 or 15-yard line, and they marked it at the 10. So one touchdown separating these two teams in the 24th Prep Kickoff Classic. It's turned out to be an entertaining game.
It certainly has for a Week 1 ball game.
3:17 to go, third quarter.
The mistakes have been kept to a minimum so far in this half, which is what coaches want to see. They want to see improvement from one half to another, and they certainly have gotten that.
And what's huge here, Bill, the Notre Dame defense, plenty of time to rest there. Just off the clock, about 6 minutes. So we'll see if they're energized on the defensive end. Nice high kick, takes the returner back to about the 3. They're going to do the reverse, and I don't know if that's going to work. And it stopped at the 12. Right now, you have given Notre Dame a lot of momentum on that.
Number 6.
Great stop on the return, and now Crocket is pinned deep in their territory.
For Crocket. On their own 12.
We're going to take another look from the end zone angle. Morasso's kick. This is probably the deepest kick he's had all game, down to about the 3-yard line. White takes it.
That's too deep to do that, Bill.
Yep, and he just goes right to Carter. But nobody was around him, so it wasn't like the Gunners were in the way for that exchange. It was a clean exchange.
Of course, but the kick was so deep, he was backpedaling. By the time he handled it, he was on his 3-yard line. So now Crocket will start at their 12, leading 12-6. And right now, Crockett's having a hard time getting another player on the field. There's going to be a penalty marker here.
This is twice already this half.
Oh, they got him in there.
Guy on late.
Wow. And a great defensive stop by the Irish. Bill, have you ever seen such a quick turn and momentum? Looked like Crocket had taken over this football game.
This is almost like a volleyball match with the way the momentum has changed.
Notre Dame fired up on defense. On the 2-yard loss, it's 2nd and 12 now. Notre Dame coming after on the D now.
But again, while Notre Dame's doing a real nice job defensively, here we're going to take another look at that scoring drive. 11 plays, 72 yards. Johnson picks up that big 10-yard burst up the middle for the score, and they trail by 6, 12-6.
Full backfield again, no wideouts.
Again, they have to be weary of that long hit. Big play.
Look out, he's being flushed out, and he'll pick up maybe a couple yards. Collins. That was a design play. Knocked out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage. No, they'll call it the 10. Must have stepped out before.
Number 18.
It's 3rd and 12 now.
Pressure and attack.
They've gone right away from the pass here. Even though they've been pinned deep, they've been throwing when they were deep before.
Right, and they're going to throw right here. It's certainly a passing situation at 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13.
Bill, it's like they've gone into a shell. Again, they're going to a full backfield, no wideouts, and they have dominated.
This is an interesting
I
look.
do not understand this at all.
But
In
he's
the throw,
throwing.
got a man open, and this is going to come back on a hold. It's a first down for Crocket.
That one's going to come
It's
back.
coming back. There's holding on Crocket.
And it was in the backfield at about the 8 or 9 yard line. So it's going to go half the distance to the goal, and it's going to put them back around the 4 or 5 yard line. We're going to try and find it right here now in this replay. Get another look at it.
A lot of
You
times,
see Mike Smith.
There it
There's
is
the hold
right
right
there.
there.
Big time hold.
And number 74,
5-yard penalty.
Sims Richardson on the hold. Then you got Jamal Thomas.
He probably saved a sack.
Who's caused quite a bit of havoc for this Rockets offense this afternoon. So he got himself 1 sack. That's going to pin them back to their own 4-yard line. 3rd and real long.
They called about 19 for a first down. Now they come in with the...
But this is, again, remember, Joe, this is where the
4
Rockets
wideouts.
are really dangerous.
They are one-on-one everywhere.
Everybody's
Back to throw. Down the sidelines, and that ball would have been caught but been out of bounds. Incomplete, and now Crocket will be forced to punt from deep in their own end zone.
He would have been out of... He still had the distance for a first down on that play.
But I don't think he would have come down in bounds,
Well,
Bill.
let's take another look at it. Right into the lights.
No, I don't think he would have come down.
No,
in
he may
bounds.
not have.
No way. Now, maybe Bill Roos in his playing day? Possibly.
Well, I'm a lot taller than 5'10".
Yeah, I think
Little
you
guy's
are.
5'10". I got 10 inches on him.
Got to be careful not to snap this ball over the head of the punter. It's 2 points for the Irish. Nice snap. Line drive kick. Notre Dame's going to get great field position. They got to get away from it. They do. And it's going to roll dead at about the 33-yard line. And Notre Dame has a chance to go in for the tie and possibly the lead with 1:36 to go in the third quarter.
You know what? That's all Stephen Carter could have hoped for. The punter there for the Rockets is to get an end-over-end kick. Wasn't the prettiest thing, but it got the job done at least. And now this defense is going to be put to the task. See if they can stop Notre Dame here from tying the score, if not taking the lead.
Well, with the roll, it turns out to be a 29-yard punt. And I look for Notre Dame to continue to pound the ball with Page and Johnson. Wiley under the center. They come outside with Johnson, and there ain't nothing there this time. Boy, did they read that, and it's no gain, 2nd down and 10. He may have even lost a yard. They'll mark him right at the original line of scrimmage, 32-yard line. 2nd and 10 for Notre Dame. Boy, did they smother this, Bill.
Boy, they smell it out real good, don't they?
4 players
to the defense.
To the ball carrier.
And if they're tired, they certainly aren't showing any wear right now.
We're under a minute to go, third quarter. They're going to throw. Got an open man out there. Ball just off his fingertips. Good coverage by Crocket. Number 8, Stephen Carter, who has been all over the field here today, offensively and defensively.
There's Emmanuel Johnson, the intended receiver. Like Joe just said, Carter with some really good defense.
Watch for that draw here on 3rd and 10. It worked on the touchdown. Let's see if they don't try to go back to something like that, or will Wiley throw the ball. Wiley will throw. Got Johnson on a screen, and it's not even close. Well, do you kick for field position here, Bill, or 4th and 10, you go for it?
I'd pin him again.
I think I would too. Try to go for the pooch punt. I don't see the punter coming out. Here it is, the screen. Pass was not catchable.
Johnson, I think, sees out the left side of his vision. Old Richard Merritt coming towards him.
2 wideouts to the near side. A rollout. Wiley looks, got a man, and it is picked up, but he did not. Oh, he did drag a foot in. I didn't think he had his feet in bounds, but he did.
What an athletic play by Stephen Carter. This kid has been all over the floor today.
Not quite as good as a punt, but let's see if he got his feet in bounds. If he did, he dragged his toe. Remember, in high school, only 1 foot.
What a fantastic athletic play.
Oh, absolutely.
By Stephen Carter.
Whether he brought his foot in or not, great play. Look at this. You know, hard to tell there, but it looked like he might have got 1 foot in. Let's take another look here. Wow.
That's too quick to tell. Here we might see from this angle now.
He might have dragged the
foot. I think he gets that right foot down as he's catching the ball. Nonetheless, it's Rocket ball.
Thinking, going out of bounds, knowing he had to drag a foot, and he did. So we'll see if that picks up the Crocket offense here. 12-6, 38 seconds to go, third quarter. Great ball game here on CTND. I'm Joe Cochran along with Bill Roos.
Full house backfield once again for the Rockets.
Nice run to this side and a pickup of about 6 or 7 yards. By Dwayne Say. And perhaps we get one more playoff before the end of the quarter.
They give him 7 yards on that last pickup.
I think they're going to hold off. They do not have to run a play.
Yeah, there's no sense in running a play.
No way. Chance to talk it over, 2nd and 3.
Talk it over, give them a little extra breather here before we start the fourth quarter in this hot and humid Silverdome.
And a hotly contested game.
You're not kidding.
We got a ball game in week 1 after 3 quarters. It is Detroit Crocket 12, Notre Dame 6. And Bill, this is still anybody's football game.
It is. All of a sudden we're seeing some more offense than we did in that first half. The Rockets with 153 yards passing, 207 total yards. That includes 54 on the ground. Notre Dame's picking it up a little bit better now, 104 total yards, 35 through the air, 109 on the ground. Nice job so far by Jeremy Johnson and Britt Page. Johnson with 40 yards on 9 carries. Page, the big bulldog of a running back, 49 yards on just 6 carries. But 2 huge carries of 16 and 19 yards account for most of his yardage.
And 2 different styles have got him here so far in the third quarter. Notre Dame by pounding the ball on the ground, and Crocket with the 2 big scores through the air.
Notre Dame's doing a little bit better job of pass protection. They're keeping 2 running backs in. You know, as it is anyways, Britt Page looks like an offensive lineman, so it's a beautiful situation for him to sit back as a fullback and just blast some defensive pass rushers.
Of course, now on the interception too, Bill, that was 4th down, so if he just knocks that down, you're talking 16 yards different.
Right.
And field at that time, you're not thinking you're playing to win the game and come up with the ball.
Right. And it's tough to tell a high school kid not to make a big play, pick off a pass.
First and 10 now for Crocket at the, we'll call it, take that back, 2nd down and 3 at the 24-yard line.
They got that full house backfield again.
They try to run for it, and they are going to be very close to the first down. I believe he has it. From this point, it looks like he does have a first down. And it is.
It was even difficult to pick up who carried that ball.
It was. I thought it was Say, but I couldn't say for sure. You like that, eh?
No.
Man, you're tough to work with.
Okay.
It was Say.
We'll give Say a 4-yard pickup on that. Here they go again.
PA announcer.
With a triple backfield. They give it to the second guy.
2-yard pickup, and it's now 2nd down and 8.
And that time it was Jackson on the carry.
This is where Crockett's dangerous. I look for him to throw here on 2nd and 8.
Yeah, they've really done a nice job of exploiting this Notre Dame secondary.
No wideouts.
But they've thrown out of this formation before.
On a rollout, they have. They run it.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, one man to beat. And he had 6. First down, Crocket. Say with the carry.
Michael Madondo on that, or Tom Madondo.
Saved a touchdown.
On that touchdown saving tackle.
Well, this look right here seems to have Notre Dame a little confused. This bunched backfield here. Another run by Say, and he's having his way to the 50.
You're a poet and didn't even know it.
Hey, I wasn't even trying. This has been a great drive for him. As every time he's touched the ball, he's made positive yards, and they're up to the 50 now. Just under 10 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Notre Dame needing a stop.
57 yards on 12 carries for Say. But you can see now where both defenses are starting to wear down a little bit. And they're sitting so far in this 3-man backfield.
First down, they go up the middle, and maybe a yard, possibly 2, for Jackson, number 23. And they'll call it 3rd and about 2.
Short gain on the play, 3rd down.
Definitely, I think 4-down territory here, Bill. As long as they're punching the ball like this.
Oh, yeah, if you're Crockett, you're going for it on 4.
You don't lose anything here.
No, not at all. They're going a double tight end set again, 3 in the backfield.
The defense of Notre Dame starting to tire a little bit.
And this is designed just to pummel that middle.
And they throw the ball, or attempt to, on a rollout. He's got the first down.
And more.
And he steps out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Detroit Crocket. Big time play.
What a nice job by Michael Collins.
I like the call.
Nothing like the element of surprise, and that certainly surprised the Notre Dame defense, expecting run all the way on that play. You're going to take another look at it.
Definitely know how to lead this team.
Well, Jamal Thomas loses contain on that left side, and that's how Michael Collins is able to pick up that 6 yards.
Going to get a timeout here. I believe it's Notre Dame.
Yep.
And they need a stop right now
to
figure out what's going on here defensively. A lot. If you'd like a copy of today's game, the address is CTND 305 Michigan Avenue, Detroit, Michigan 48226. Or you can call area code 313-237-5938. And if you do, you'll be getting a great ball game.
You're not kidding, on VHS or DVD.
They run the ball and pick up about 3. 2nd and 7. You're a DVD man, right?
Oh, I am.
But also you can get it on VHS.
Jeremy Johnson, number 3 on the tackle. 5-yard gain, 2nd down.
They give him 5 on the carry, and it's 2nd and 5 now for Crocket. Well, I've never seen momentum switch so much here in just such a short period of time.
No, but watch this offensive line just explode.
They run outside, and Say has about 3. It'll be 3rd and a long 2 for Crocket. And you hate to keep saying it, but the Notre Dame team on defense looks very tired right now. Hands on hips.
Remember, many of these offensive linemen for Crocket are also playing defensive line. So basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of girth there.
Boy.
And you just keep a hat on a guy, and it's going to hurt. You're going to create some lanes for your running backs, and you're going to punish the defense. And that's what we're seeing right now here in the fourth quarter.
They try to run for the first down. They're going to come up short. about a yard pickup. It's going to be 4th and 2 or a little less. And Crocket obviously will go for it as we approach 7 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Could be the biggest play of the game right here, Bill.
You're not kidding. There you're taking a look at Shane Gilliard, number 54. And Edgar Martin, number 14, a couple of the defensive stalwarts for Notre Dame.
They call it no gain or a little loss. It is 4th and 3 now as Crocket approaches the offensive line. Collins calls the signal. Full backfield. They try to run right, and they're not going to get the first down. And well, look at this last surge. We've got a flag in there, possibly a hold.
We get a late flag on the side judge on the near side.
Let's see what the call is here. I think this is going to go against Crocket. Very close to the first down. Looked like he was stopped. It was like somebody pulled him forward.
Well, there's some confusion, too, on the defensive front for Notre Dame before that ball got snapped. Thomas looked like he wanted to be in a different position, was trying to cut across the line of scrimmage.
Penalties against.
Here, we're going to take another look at it, Joe.
They didn't even measure, Bill.
Here it's Jackson on the carry.
See there?
But not even certain what the penalty was, but
pulling that player forward. I don't know if that what the call would be.
Boy, Thomas is right there
That's
tackling high.
Play, so.
Emmanuel Johnson wraps up down low.
They didn't even measure. They declined the penalty, so you think there would be a measurement there. Wiley on a scramble, gets outside, up to the 42-yard line. The Crocket coaching staff, about 3 of them are about 2 yards onto the playing field and were the entire play. I think they're wondering, too, why there wasn't a measurement down there.
There you're taking a look at them. Boy, they're a little hot right now.
Oh, they are.
Wiley does a nice job getting past the line of scrimmage. Been kind of a bone of contention all day so far for Notre Dame, is getting past that front 4.
2nd down and 1. They
Nice
go up
hit.
the middle, and it's Page, and it's a first down. Saying a fumble, Crocket is, but Page was definitely down. So you're coming up on 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter, what could be a deciding drive right here. Maybe the last chance for the Irish.
Page picks up 7 yards to the 49.
Well, if they get in the end zone, Bill, could come down to an extra point, winning the game.
Well, if they score right now, they're going to, it's going to be interesting.
Running play up the middle. Gets about 3. 2nd down and 7 now.
Number 3, Jeremy Johnson.
Great football game for the opening week here on CTND. Joe Cochran along with Bill Roos, 12-6 Detroit Crocket over Harper Woods Notre Dame as we come up on 5 minutes to go.
This could be the final telling drive of this game. Under 5 minutes. And the clock is still ticking. They're just going to run this ball.
Scrambles outside. Got a man wide open.
Flag.
Yeah, it's pass interference. He hit him before he made the catch. So they'll decline that. Oh, they're calling, they say he dropped it. But you've got pass interference. He hit him well before he...
Oh, I want to see this again because I think Paul Nielsen does a fantastic job of hanging on to that ball as he gets rifled from behind.
Watch the outside official come in and call it incomplete, though. But he's hit before he makes the catch. Oh, that ball might
maybe
hit the
he
ground.
does. Maybe he does drop it here.
But definitely pass interference, Bill. Got there about a second too soon.
There's another look at it from up high.
You'll see the defender gets there before he makes the attempt to catch it. He must have let that ball loose after he hit the ground.
Yeah.
Or
Or as
he went
he's
down,
falling,
yeah.
it's falling out.
Right.
Nonetheless, Notre Dame's got the ball in great field position now on the 34.
Nowhere to go on that running play. Maybe even a loss. Number 10.
Carlton Downs with his first carry of the game.
The return man. They call it a 1-yard loss. Let's make it 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line for Notre Dame. And remember, Crockett's down to 1 timeout. Calls the signals. They run it up the middle with Johnson, and he's got running room to about the 29. Had he not lost his footing, Bill, he would have got the first down.
Great single effort by Jeremy Johnson again to get past that line of scrimmage, pulls away from a defender, and makes positive yardage once again.
Pickup of about 6. They'll call it 3rd and 5. Definitely 4-down territory. We'll see what the Irish come up with here. 29-yard line, knocking on the door. What could be for the win here in the opening game at the Silverdome. Well, he runs outside. He's got a first down and more.
Hold on that ball.
Thought about going down. Thought he could get another 5 yards. He did to about the 20. And you make a great point. Tuck that ball in.
No turnovers here. You can't afford a turnover with less than 3.5 minutes to go in this game. Here's another look at it. Got to protect that ball.
He started to go down at about the 23 and got a little greedy there and got 3 more yards and got away with it.
Picks up 10 on that to the 19.
Both these teams putting on a show here in week 1. Coming up on 3 minutes, Bill.
Notre Dame's kicker, Anthony Morasso's on the near sideline here, warming up.
They go up the middle with Page, and he's to about the 15.
This is a fantastic job that Notre Dame's doing of pounding the ball up the middle, mixing it up with a little stuff on the outside with Wiley and Johnson, bringing Page straight up the gut.
The offense taking over here in the second half. 56 yards rushing now for Britt Page. 2nd down and 5. They go with Johnson, and he doesn't get anything. Maybe to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down and 5. If anything, they're taking a lot of time off the clock, and if they were to score, Crockett's not going to have much time with 1 timeout left.
And they're not going to worry too much about moving the ball offensively if you're Crocket. But this is a critical play right now at 3rd and 5 with 2 minutes to go.
Long huddle for Notre Dame as they step to the line. 3rd and 5, let's see what they come up with. Again, they go Wiley outside, and right now that's the thing that's making it happen, Bill. They are just letting him run out there, and Crocket doesn't seem to be able to defend it.
Notre Dame has all 3 timeouts remaining. $1:49 left in this game.
Now, did he get the first down? It's going to be very close. I thought he had it.
I think he's got it too, and they're going to take an official's timeout here and measure this.
It is.
Oh, Crocket just called their final timeout.
This might not be a bad timeout.
They called timeout. There was really no need to call the
timeout. Well, now they maybe they won't now, but they signaled first down. Maybe that timeout won't be taken from Crocket.
Well, I'm watching the official, Mike Smith, and it looked like he signaled the timeout by Crocket.
Couldn't Crocket ask for a measurement? First down.
First down.
Well, at our age, Bill, I guess we still got the old eagle eye.
They put that ball at the 9. That's a 6-yard pickup for Kelvin Wiley.
Or I should say your eye.
Here we're gonna take another look at this tough run by Wiley, who's now carried the ball 6 times for 28 yards.
This could be one sore individual. He's been sacked and he's run the ball a lot. I should have said at your age, Bill. So this will be 1st and goal to go now.
The one key that Notre Dame has had this half offensively is no sacks. 6 sacks in that first half and 0 the second half. They've done a nice job blocking in the backfield.
Up the middle, Page. He carries some tacklers to the 5, and it's 2nd and goal. Crockett still has the timeout on the board. Notre Dame wanted that timeout taken away. That's what the discussion was, but the measurement came first. This is the 11th play of the drive. And right now that Crockett team is a little tired, Bill, and winded.
Watch for this play to possibly go to the left. A lot of green.
And if they run this ball, it's going to be under a minute after this play. Wiley up the middle on a quarterback draw. I like the call. He's inside the 2-yard line.
On a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, you can see the Rockets on the far sideline are a little dismayed at the moment.
Well, it looked like they had control of this game at 12-0. And Notre Dame taking a long time in the huddle, Bill. 45 seconds to go, 2 plays to get it in and tie it up. Wiley under center.
I'd like to see a rollout to that left and try to sneak it in the corner of the end zone.
Either that or they'll go with Page.
He's more right side.
And he's to about the goal line and not in. They might have to call a timeout.
Dwayne Say, the cornerback, comes up and run support. Beautiful stop.
And Notre Dame is going to call timeout. 23 seconds. This is a good decision here. Go over what you want. You're on the nose of the goal line.
Take another look at this rollout right.
This has worked all day.
It has, but Say was right in the spot. Gets a little support from Stephen Carter and Robert Eddings. They weren't fooled on this play at all. They sniffed this out from the beginning.
But did pick up a couple crucial yards. I think you come in with Page right here and you try to take it right down their throat, right up the middle. There it is, about 6 inches from the goal line.
Well, Page has had 9 carries today. Only 1 run went for no yardage at all.
This is the man right here. You got to go with Page, I feel. Is this like the greatest way to start a season?
You're not kidding.
You're down to 23 seconds and it comes down to 4th and inches at the goal line. You can't ask for anything more.
And if you're Wiley right now, you're feeling really confident.
Well, let's see what they do. Page is lined up in front of Johnson. 4th and inches. Notre Dame knocking on the door. It's Wiley and he's in. Quarterback sneak. With 20 seconds to go, and now Notre Dame, all they need to do is kick the extra point, and this one's all but over.
But remember, they kicked the extra point last time. There was a low snap that caused a block.
Well, they got confidence in this kicker. He's an excellent punter. You got to go with it. Great comeback for Notre Dame. It's not complete yet. They need the extra point and 20 seconds to pull off this great comeback. And right now there's confusion with Crocket on how many players on the field. I think they have 12. And it's blocked and did not get over.
Doesn't go over. Yeah, the Rockets had 11 guys out there. That was okay.
There was some confusion with one player running. Number 55.
Brandon Graham came running onto the field. But why should that be any different than the rest of the second half? That's happened a couple times.
Unbelievable. Can you say overtime?
Overtime?
There it is. Come on. What a football game. The opening week, the Prep Kickoff Classic here at the Pontiac Silverdome.
I'm trying to think the last overtime game I was even at a high school game. But here we're going to take another look at Wiley's keeper up the middle. Got a nice push from that offensive line. It was almost like Crocket was defeated on that play. I saw no surge from them whatsoever.
And you know the blocked extra point didn't miss by much going over the bar. It'll be what team is...
There's Wiley again, just off the inside of his tackle.
Whatever team has the most energy on defense, because I tell you what, they are both gasping out there. And I'll tell you what, this kickoff is real critical here. I think you squib it.
Well, remember last time they had White and Carter on a reverse kickoff. And both those guys seem pretty dangerous today. They've had some decent returns in the first half.
Crocket, one timeout, Bill. And they kick it deep. And it's fumbled. And it goes out of bounds, and that's probably the safest thing to have happen. Let it go out of bounds.
White mishandles it, goes out of bounds at their own 7.
Take a knee and head into overtime.
Here's that last scoring drive, 13 plays.
Wiley did a lot of it.
Chewed up a ton of time. Wiley's 1-yard run ties the game. Morasso's extra point attempt blocked, which likely will force overtime here with 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. High school overtime, put the ball at the 10, get 4 plays.
4 shots. A little bit similar to the college.
A little. They start at the 25 and have opportunities to get first downs. Here you don't get a first down opportunity at all.
Exactly.
You get 4 downs and that's it. They'll have another coin toss.
They're going to try to throw here.
Tipped.
This is dangerous right here, I think. 12 seconds to go, and Notre Dame with 2 timeouts.
Well, I think they're hoping that Notre Dame's going to fall asleep at the switch, and perhaps they can benefit from that and strike on a long play.
But if you were to run 2 plays down now and Notre Dame calls timeout, you could force them to punt.
Well, that's if you're going to keep throwing the ball. Notre Dame, I don't
They
think
got 2 timeouts. They're going to throw again, and it's going to be
it's
intercepted.
Get picked off.
And it is.
I'll tell you what,
40.
this is dangerous.
They got to get down. They got to get down. He can't get in the end zone.
That's ball game.
Oh, if he would have gone down on a knee at about the 20-yard line, they might have tried a field goal.
Again, it's the excitement of a high school kid picking off a pass with the likelihood of trying to do something.
And he knows it right now, too.
And he's going to hear about it, too. Coach Sahadi's not real pleased.
I have seen some play calling I don't get here tonight.
Yeah, there's Coach Sahadi. He's going to give him an earful.
Watch the interception here, Bill. If you look at about the 20-yard line, I looked up at the clock. There was 4 seconds. It's thrown into no man's land. When he gets to about the 20, they're telling him, get down. He had 4 seconds left.
He's just not aware whatsoever of the time.
And he was tackled at about the 12. But great interception, nice return. And right now, Notre Dame is a fired-up bunch. What a football game.
And who thought it, especially with the way Crocket had handled everything in the first half.
So now, coin toss, Bill, and one team will go on offense. All the coaches I talk to always seem they want to go on defense first.
Yeah, and that's probably not a bad strategy.
Find out what you need then.
Exactly. Do you need 3 or do you need 7? The officials are going to decide here at midfield what side of the field we're going to go on. And whichever one they choose is the one we'll stick at. We'll stay on both series.
And the only reason why I would even think about doing it the other way is I know the Crocket defense is exhausted right now after that long drive. But we'll see what they do. They're huddling up right now on each sideline. The officials are at the 50. And what has been a well-played first game of the season. A little scrappy in the first half with some penalties, but it seemed to fall into place after that.
Certainly a ton of improvement from one half to the other. We'll look at some numbers here through 4 quarters. Notre Dame's total offense amasses 158 yards, 163 on the ground. But remember, with the 33 minus yards in sacks, they end up with 158 total yards. Crocket does a better job at chewing up yardage, 249 total yards of offense, 153 coming on the arm of quarterback Michael Collins, including 2 big touchdown passes of 26 and 53 yards with 2 interceptions.
But since the 53-yard scoring strike, not 1 yard of passing offense.
No, he's 0 for 3 in passing with the pick.
So Crocket led 12-0. Notre Dame rallies to tie at 12-all. They meet at midfield for the coin toss.
Notre Dame brings out its captains. Number 70, Byron Johnson. Calvin Wiley, number 5. Britt Page. And Jeremy Johnson, the running backs.
The entire backfield.
Certainly. The Rockets have Trevor Anderson, their big fella.
You don't want to put too much into the first game, but Bill, first of all, you're down 12-0, and you haven't made the state playoffs like you said. As we look at the coin toss,
there's the coin toss,
and Crocket looks like they won the toss.
Yep,
it's their choice.
Michael Smith is talking to the Rockets right now. Kirill White, asking them what they would like to do.
I think Crocket wants the ball. Let's see.
And we've not gotten any indication yet from Michael Smith, the referee.
It looked like they asked Notre Dame what end they wanted to defend.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're going to go down to the tunnel side of the field. Maybe if you're the Rockets, you want to go on offense first. Give that defense a rest.
Tired.
And
three out of the 4 touchdowns down here have been scored at this end as we look at the place kicker, who had an opportunity to win it, Bill, in regulation, but it was blocked.
Right, and he's had pretty good success punting the ball today, but place kicking has been a different story for him. 2 blocks already on PATs.
Notre Dame will be on defense, so Crocket wants a shot at the end zone. Point I was going to make, what a momentum lift this would be if Notre Dame was to come back and win this and then get into that tough regular season in the Catholic League.
Sure.
This is a huge game. On the other side, Crocket as well, the tough PSL. They'd love to hang on, get their second win here, and get an opening win.
You know, Crocket moves up from the Division 4 level, which is the smaller BCD schools in the PSL, and they go up to Division 2, where Detroit Mackenzie's favorite to win that division. Notre Dame, after today, has to face Brother Rice, UAD, and Country Day in succession.
And later on, LaSalle will be there. They run it up the middle, and they get to about the 5.
That's Dwayne Say again.
You know, it could come up to the conversions, too, Bill. Nobody's been able to convert after a touchdown here today. Second down at the 5-yard line.
There's the 2 tight end set again with 3 guys in the backfield.
They've gone away from the wideouts altogether. They run the ball to the other way, and he's just short. It's Say down to about the half-a-yard line. Wow, they have exploded off the offensive line on these first 2 plays here in overtime. Possible quarterback sneak maybe here, or you go with Say.
Say's carried the ball 2 times now for 5 and 4 yards in overtime. I give it right back to him again.
He has 73 yards rushing so far in the football game. 2 plays to get in. It is a keeper, and I believe he's in, and he is. 18-12 now for Crocket. I think this is what makes overtime so exciting, though. This could go on for several overtimes, back and forth. It looked like there was a little delay here on the snap. I don't know if he got this cleanly or...
Well, I think he's trying to pick a hole. Things weren't developing right away on that offensive line. He's looking for some room to wiggle through.
Well, this is a big conversion here because if he doesn't get it, I still think Notre Dame tries to kick for theirs if they get in.
And we get a Notre Dame timeout. Nope, I'm sorry, Crocket timeout.
They get 1 to carry over,
yep.
And then the 1 in overtime. Notre Dame carries 1 over plus the 1 they had. Well, now they say no timeouts for Crocket, so perhaps they had burned it in the 4th quarter.
This is such a big stop right now for Notre Dame. You know they're going for 2.
Yeah, it is huge. 18-12 Crocket in overtime. Timeout by Notre Dame right now. You're watching a great high school football game here on CTND.
The defensive line is going to be key right here. They're going to have to get pad level, get below the offensive lineman, and let those linebackers and safeties come up and sweep up that play.
Crocket going to go with the wideouts, Bill.
I don't see any hustle from either of these teams right now. You think they're dragging?
Yeah, I think they're exhausted right now. Well, you're going to have some one-on-one coverage. 4 wideouts. Under the center. Back to pass. Going to try to run it in. He's got an opening. And he's there. And now Notre Dame needs 8 in overtime. 20-12, Detroit Crocket. Great play. They spread everybody out. And Collins runs it in for the 2. I like the call and I like the setup offensively for Detroit Crocket.
Well, I like the job that Britt Page does over center, number 5 for Notre Dame. He blasts him out of the way and forces Collins to his right. But then there's no supporting cast at all for Notre Dame to pick him up.
Pays the price at the goal line, though.
Yep. That's the first PAT conversion of this ball game.
And now Notre Dame, if they want to win this game, must score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion to get it to double overtime. Here we go, first down. They go with Johnson, and it looked like he was going to break free there, but only got a yard, and it's a huge stop for Crocket. Boy, Bill, we went into this overtime, it looked like Notre Dame had Crocket on their heels, and now it's just the opposite.
You're not kidding. How critical is the coin toss now?
Huge.
Crocket wins that coin toss, and they're able to call their own destiny.
And there was no hesitation. They wanted the football.
Yeah. Give their defense a break, which they've needed for some time.
Seemed like there was some confusion in the Notre Dame huddle. Wiley calling the signals. Goes with Johnson the opposite way, and he's able to get it down to inside the 5. And now you have 2 plays from just about the 5-yard line to tie this, or to go for 2 then, to tie it. If they can get in. A lot of work for Notre Dame still to be done here. I like Wiley running to this side on the right again.
To the near side?
Yep. It's worked. They haven't run it for a little bit here. Let's see if Crockett's forgot about it.
They're going strong side left, though, with the tight end.
It is Wiley to the right, and there's not much there. He might have squeezed it to the 3-yard line, and it's 4th and goal. And this is the play right here. Notre Dame has to stay alive. Just outside the 3-yard line. Notre Dame timeout. I think this is a good call here.
How fired up is Robert Eddings there?
Very much so, as is that Crocket coaching staff.
This is a Crocket team that went 9-2 last season.
Lost in the regionals, correct?
Loses in the regional final to Ida. You see the Notre Dame players on their sidelines, all on one knee, huddled together, holding hands, arm in arm.
These teams have never met. Fourth and goal at the 3. Wiley gonna throw, and he's under pressure. He's in trouble. He eludes the tackler, throws in the air, and it is incomplete. And Crocket holds off Notre Dame 20-12. In what was a great football game here at the Silverdome. Crocket ecstatic over their victory here. Notre Dame heartbroken. And how about Wiley breaking free twice to get rid of that ball? He had 2 receivers in the end of the end zone.
He did. He had Paul Nielsen again in the end zone. What great coverage by that secondary for the Rockets. That's just a tough loss.
It is
for Notre
a tough
Dame.
loss.
I mean, you don't like to talk about cliches, but boy, what a hard-fought battle this was for an opening weekend ball game.
And I go back to that blocked extra point, especially the second one. So close to victory,
Yep.
but give the Crocket line a lot of credit. 2 major blocked extra points.
Yep, this is the fun about high school football right here, too. Seeing each team congratulate one another after a hard-fought battle.
And I think they both leave with respect for one another
They
because this
certainly
was
do.
a hard-fought football game. Crocket a little bit better in overtime, and they win. But great football game.
Here we're going to take a look at some plays from this ball game, Joe. Here's Wiley on that last play. Boy, does he elude this pressure. Who's at 24? Anthony McCord, who we've not heard from all ball game,
Here it is
on
again.
that defensive coverage.
1 tackle, 2 tackles, throws it up. But
And I think he really just forces that ball up in the air because I don't think he had much time to look vertical at all.
and look at the Crocket coaching staff coming over here talking to Wiley. They respect this young man. He played his heart out. He took his lumps. And
Here you're seeing Trevor Anderson, who was in Wiley's face the entire ball game, congratulating him on a fine effort.
You never know where you might meet later down the road, maybe college.
Yep.
Who knows? But great sportsmanship, and Crocket earns it.
I'm impressed by both of these ball clubs, on the field and off.
Great football game.
20-12, Crocket wins. Though the scoreboard here at the Silverdome, for whatever reason, says 19-12. They must have missed that 2-point conversion. Or whoever's operating that clock doesn't realize that
Counting
when
one.
you run the ball in the end zone, it's 2 points, not 1.
I was confused here. I'm thinking, how did 19? I did not see a kicked extra point. So that's it. Thanks for joining us. Crocket defeats Notre Dame 20-12. We will see you next time here on CTND. For Bill Roos, I'm Joe Cochran. Good evening.